thank you so much for tuning in and or watching Beside Her. My name is Crystal.
And I'm Nelly.
And we're here for episode 4.
Yes.
Oh,
It's going by fast.
it's going.
And we're consistent.
We are consistent queens.
Queens.
Yeah. Episode 4. We are so excited for this one. And I actually have to do a shout out.
Oh,
because.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. When we get special requests, like I really want to shout out the person that's sending it in, or like if it's multiple people. But more specifically for this episode, we're going to be talking about our birth stories, pregnancy journeys, postpartum, and things like that. Shout out to Keishla. So shout out to her. She's so sweetsy. She sent us a very cute message after our second pod. And she was like, I really want to hear you guys talk about your birth stories and like your pregnancy journeys and everything like that, which we already had in the pipeline. It's a big part of us. We're moms. That is who we are. But also, you know, we don't want to make this whole podcast about
us being moms.
Us being moms. Like, this is our time to also break mentally too.
Yeah.
So
we're getting it over with. I'm just kidding. No, we're going to talk about it. Yeah. Real and raw.
Real and raw.
Real and raw. We're going to say it in the beginning because we're going to forget to say it. Watch the YouTube video so that you can see the behind the scenes or more extended version.
Yeah.
It really is the extended version because there's things that we cut on the audio that it doesn't make sense to keep on the audio because you don't have like a visual representation of what we're talking about. So we cut it out on the audio, but we keep it into the YouTube.
Yeah.
So YouTube really it's not just bloopers, it's like an extended version of our podcast.
I call it the extendo.
The extendo.
Yeah.
Extendo arm.
And you can really see our personality shine through. There's things that when you hear us, like you're like, okay, these are little weird girls. But when you see us, it's like, oh, these are cool weird girls.
Cool weird girls.
Yeah. But also we want to preface, a huge preface, is that this is our story. And every single pregnancy is different. Every single birth is different. She can even speak on that because she's had 2 come out of her cooter.
Yes, the cooter.
She's had 2. Shark bait.
Shark bait.
Wow, we're silly today.
We're silly girls. Cheers. We're drinking wine.
Serious note. Everything is different, and this is just our stories. It's not we're not telling you on how you should handle your pregnancy or your birth. This is just our experience, which honestly on my end, I loved watching. Like I love talking to her about experience because I was like, I need all of it. It's like download all of it onto me because I want to know what I'm gonna experience, and it was completely different.
Yeah.
No matter what you told me, it was completely different. No matter what I saw on TV or YouTube, TikTok, completely different. This is our positive experience. We don't want to. It was beautiful both ways, 3 ways. She says you have 2 kids.
And you know what? I'm gonna also say that I originally did not want to talk about this.
You're gonna say that?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Why can't we be honest?
No, I want you to be honest. She doesn't want to be here.
I don't know. I do want to be here, sister. I originally didn't want to talk about this because it's the whole, like, who is going to care about my birth experience, my birth story? There's so many birth stories out there. But then my sister was like, no, Nettie, people are going to care because it was unique and it was special. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, stop undermining your experience because she's so right. When she was pregnant, and even when I was pregnant, I honestly was going through the rabbit holes and like watching videos on YouTube of people's births and their experience throughout their pregnancies. I was more so looking at women giving birth like in the jungle. I did.
What?
I did. I remember there's this one video that I watched with my mom, and I remember us watching this in her living room while I was pregnant with my first kid. And it was a woman giving birth in a forest. And I was like, how natural can you get? Because whenever I think of labor and pregnancy, I think of the caveman days. Yeah. Because you know what? We're going to just jump into it.
We need to.
I'm petrified of hospitals. I can't describe to you, like, if I can avoid a hospital or a doctor at all costs, I absolutely will. Yeah. Petrified. It gives me anxiety. I just don't want to do it. So I knew right away when I got pregnant, we're not going to a hospital. I'm doing this in my house somehow. But it was COVID. So I couldn't do it at my house. I needed a midwife or a doula with me because it was our first time and you need a professional there, right?
Yeah.
But I knew for sure I did not want to go to the hospital. So another reason was because COVID was happening. I was like, I definitely don't want to be in a hospital.
Yeah. Para, dude, you're going in. You
No,
didn't
but
want
there
to be
was something-
here.
Oh, no, I know. But we were talking about the cavemen. So I was like, if cavemen and people were able to do it without going to hospital or getting medicated,
Yeah.
then I have to be able to do it.
That's exactly what my mental was too.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna spill all the tea on that. But we're gonna jump right into the check-in segment.
Check-in segment.
Wow. You're always first. I love that you go first, Steve. Check in. How are you mentally? How was your week?
Mentally, not gonna lie, exhausting. Zero sleep. I track my sleep on my Oura ring. I love it. I love that it tells me like you're gonna have a bad day because you didn't get enough sleep.
Does it really say that?
No, it doesn't say. It gives you advice like maybe you should take a rest day, things like that. Because both of my kids were sick this week, so I felt like I had a newborn all over again. I didn't get any sleep. And I had to work from home with them because they can't go to daycare if they have fevers or if they're on meds. It was just a lot. So this week was definitely a lot. But you know what? It's one day closer to the change of employment.
How can we preface this part? She's mentioned this employment every single episode.
Every episode. You know what? Somebody said something. They're like, so what is happening?
Good.
You keep mentioning that, like, what is happening? I'll tell you after it happens because legally I can't say it right now.
Ooh. I love this. This is the best thing we've ever done in our life.
Yeah.
Like, you know when God has a purpose? Wow.
His purpose.
The check-in segment. Yes, mentally you're exhausted and wholeheartedly I'm so sorry. Because you know how I barely sleep too. And now Giselle's getting sick because they were playing last week, was it? Last week. And so I feel like now she's getting like a little cough, a little sneeze, but it's also a change of weather. It's normal, it's natural. I'm literally like, now that you went through the wave, I'm expecting the wave to come to me, and I'm like, you know what, it's gonna be fine.
Here you go.
You know, she's passing it on to me. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have kids.
Kids get sick, and it's annoying.
Mentally, I'm feeling literally on cloud 9.
Wow.
I don't know why we're always opposites. Yeah, but I think that's why we pour into each other during the week. Yeah. So heavily.
I love that we talk every day.
We talk every single day, and it's the best experience ever. I need to have someone to talk to every day too, because like I only talk to Giselle all day, and people at work, and it's like
that's a fact.
I need
to talk to an adult. Mm-hmm. I texted you yesterday because I was working on our next podcast episodes, and I literally was like, oh my god, I haven't heard from her in like 3 hours.
Dude, and I was like, sister, I'm so sorry. Like it's been like a few hours.
Yeah, what?
And I'm like, I'm finally home. But like we used to last like days. We were only communicating in the family chat. And now it's like, sister, it's been 3 hours. I'm so sorry. But yeah, no, mentally I'm on cloud 9. I'm also dealing with, again, my daughter transitioning with the sleep. And it's just, for me, it's like, you know what? It's fine.
It is fine.
It's fine. It's going to pass.
It is.
We took her first birthday pictures today.
Yes! That was so fun.
A beautiful moment. She's only going to be so small for so long. And I'm just like extremely happy in the state that we are in and where we are, you know, in life. The fact that I'm able to go apartment shopping right now, car shopping.
Cheers.
It's a blessing.
We're counting our blessings. We're grateful girlies.
Grateful girlies.
Girly pop.
Grateful girly pop.
Yes.
Physically, how do you feel? How does your body feel attached with your mental?
Physically, I haven't been, so because of the crazy week, I haven't been as active. Yeah, I've gotten a couple workouts in, but that's like compared to like what I used to do. I haven't been as active, but I'm okay with it. I'm giving myself grace. So one thing that I was asked to do was my homework, to work on self-compassion, because I'm so incredibly hard on myself. I have high expectations of myself, and I tend to have high expectations of other people, especially people around me. I love that we post once a week because I'm going to see the transformation.
You are.
You know,
You're my little butterfly.
a butterfly.
Yeah.
A butterfly
You're my
transformation.
little butterfly.
Thank you. How about you, sister?
Physically, I feel like I need to
Do something.
hit the gym. Yeah, do something.
Do it.
I do. Honestly, the biggest reason why is I can't find a window of time where I am not either parenting or exhausted from parenting.
You're gonna be exhausted.
I know, and you told me that. You're like and there's this.
I can only do, and I'm sorry for cutting you off, but like this is important. I can only do 20 minutes at a time. When I work out, it's a 20-minute Peloton bike. That's the max I can do.
Yeah.
Or it's a 20-minute HIIT workout on the TV,
so
and I do it with my kids. They're on top of me while I'm doing sit-ups. They're like sitting on my legs or copying me, or they're doing squats with me, which is really funny. It's cute. It's funny. They're doing squats with me or like doing lunges with me, and we're following the workout on the TV. But I'm not joking, 20 minutes at a time. And sometimes the 20 minutes, because I have to pause sometimes, take like
an hour.
like 30, not an hour. But yeah, it's just the consistency.
You're right. I just need to start it. I always say it every day. Sometimes she'll wake up and I'm like, damn, it's 5 a.m. I should just stay awake and go in the living room and just work out.
Do a quickie.
Do a quickie. Talking about quickies, let's jump on in them. So.
Yes, jump on in.
All right, so first question. I'm going to ask questions to kind of get the momentum rolling for the episode. But first question I have is, how did you find out you were pregnant? Did you have any inkling before you took the positive test where you were like, I know I'm pregnant, I'm just taking a test? Or like, what happened?
To not make this episode long, I'm going to talk about both of my experiences at the same time.
Okay.
Because I have 2 kids. So for the first one, I missed my period. And I never miss my period. I track my period on I forgot what the app was.
Yeah.
Some period tracker app. And I missed my period, and I was like, it's so weird. And then like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get it the next day. Didn't get it. And I was feeling sick too. I had gone to New York a few weeks prior, and I was feeling kind of nauseous. And I was like, oh, it's because of the alcohol I was drinking. No, honey, you were full-blown pregnant. So that was the first time I missed my period, never missed it. The first time I was pregnant, that was the first time I ever took a pregnancy test in my life. The first time ever, and it came out positive.
What a lucky girl.
Yes, never.
Never have I ever. Bitch, I'm down.
Wow, seriously?
I'm taking.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
My God, this is going to be such a good episode.
I'm taking many tests.
That's crazy. Never.
Yeah.
That was the first time ever. And then the second time, same thing. I was feeling sick. I was feeling really sick. And I set up the hookah. Remember?
I wasn't there.
I told you this story. I was feeling sick, okay? And I was like, you know what? Let me just rule this out. I'm definitely not pregnant. There's no fucking way. And I was like, let me just set up the hookah. Let me take this test and then have the charcoals like heating up while I take the test. And then I go take the test and it's positive. And you know what I did? I took the hookah and trashed it. I closed tight. Because it wasn't expected, but also like obviously.
So this woman but she was mad because she had a baby.
Yeah, I had
So you was how old? 9 months?
He was 15 months.
Wow.
He was 15 months.
I forget that they're not that close in age.
Yeah, he was 15 months.
Close in age.
And it really wasn't true. Both of my pregnancies were not planned.
Right.
So that's how I found out. How did you find out?
Well, I knew I was pregnant. Mentally, my brain knew. What happened was, yeah, I was taking care of Amari. Remember that week I slept over your house?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I slept over her house.
Was it the Bad Bunny concert?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
I slept over her house and I had the worst baby fever. Amari was just giving me all the vibes. And I was
my God.
Every time I held him and looked at him.
I'm starting?
Yes, my godson. And so I was looking at him and I was like, I really want a child. Like there was a voice in my head that kept saying, you want a baby? And I was like, I don't know, dude. Because me and my boyfriend just moved in together maybe like 3 months prior. So I was like, we just got this apartment, like, and a dog.
Yeah.
We're actually getting a new dog because I was like in the works of getting him. Went to the Bad Bunny concert. My best friend, shout out to Mitchell. I was talking about a relationship with her. And she was like, girl, you just need You just didn't ride that deep. And I was like,
sister,
you know the story?
no.
Yeah, I was telling her about my relationship real quick, and then she was like, "We're on the way to the concert." She's like, "You need to ride that D," and I say, "Like, y'all be fine." I was like, "You know what, you're right." And then I went to the concert, and then I went home, and surely enough, I did what she told me to. I took her advice, and I got pregnant.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you know when you got pregnant?
I know the day. I know exactly what happened, and then I went to a party in Jenna's basement.
Yeah, and I remember.
And I was pregnant, and I knew here, and like I kept feeling cramping down there, but I was like, oh, it's my period, and I was like, there's no way, 'cause my period, I get these cramps, these type of sharp pains.
Yeah.
And then, and surely enough, after that birthday party, that like Monday,
that was the last time you were able to drink.
And in my head, when I was in the party, and I have on my personal TikTok, I did a TikTok that day, like recording the party, like taking shots. I knew, judge me if you want, I knew. I was like, this is the last time we were with my family drinking, doing hookah. Like, I just know.
Wow.
And I was going to go upstairs because Jenna always has pregnancy tests. Yeah. I was going to go take one. And I was like, you know what? I'm not. Because if it's going to come out positive, I'm leaving here crying.
I'm leaving, yeah.
Let me enjoy the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I should have smoked the hookah.
Next question is,
what were the most difficult symptoms during pregnancy, and what did you do to help them?
You first.
Most difficult symptoms. So my first pregnancy was a breeze.
Yeah, it was.
It was a breeze. It was, I didn't experience any of the things that typically women experience. The throwing up, the morning sickness, none of that. Like, it was easy. The only thing I can remember was Braxton. I'm sorry. It was the ligament.
Oh, pain. Yes, you did. The round ligament pain.
That was painful. Obviously, it's because I've never experienced that before. So I would cry. I'm not a crier either. But I would.
You're also emotional because of the hormones.
Yeah. So that was the only thing. My second pregnancy was horrendous. Horrendous in my experience.
Because the first one was easy.
Because I didn't even have any crazy symptoms, anything insane. It was more so I was sick the first 5 months, didn't feel good. I had the morning sickness, but wasn't throwing up. But I had like the nausea. And the morning sickness is not just in the morning; it's all day. It's all day. So I don't know why. I don't know who coined the term morning sickness.
A man. A man.
Probably. But I had that all day for literally 5 months, and I was miserable. I was not happy during that pregnancy. I was extremely emotional. Yeah. I cried a lot during that pregnancy. I definitely was depressed. I was not happy. No, I was not happy. I went on vacation on that pregnancy.
You did. That's when it happened.
That's when I was starting to feel a little bit better. And then when I came back,
correct,
I was on the way back. I was experiencing crazy pains. Like, we thought that something was happening. Like, I was losing the baby because I was in so much back pain, and I couldn't even walk. They had to put me on a wheelchair to get through the airport. So it was scary. But yeah, that pregnancy was not fun. That was not good. Maybe
because they were so close, and like maybe because it takes 2 years, for your uterus and everything to heal. Maybe
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But that was not a fun pregnancy. Makes me sad.
I didn't know you were going through it that bad.
Oh, it was so bad behind closed doors. Yeah.
You're also dealing with a lot because Zaire was still a baby. You were running after him. Yeah. That's why they say you'll never get to experience, and that's why they say to like be super present in your first pregnancy. Because you'll never get to experience like the full, you get to just live in that moment of being just pregnant.
Yeah, I was over it.
That's why I can't even think about, imagine being pregnant and having to run around. Like, I just can't.
Yeah, I definitely was not present during that. And I was working from home, pregnant with a 1-year-old. It was just not a good time.
It was a lot.
It was not a good time. And then I keep reminding myself, because be grateful, like at least you were able to experience that. At least you were, and I get that. I get that 100%. But also, like, can I complain a little bit?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your feelings are valid, but there's always my feelings are valid, but I also need to be thankful and grateful for the experience I did have. Because there's women, like you said, they just lose them. Yeah. Or they just can't bear children.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, my first pregnancy, my only my pregnancy with Giselle, when I think about it, just think about it like right now, like quick, amazing. I'm gonna say it was amazing.
Wow.
And a lot of people say that.
Wow.
Because it was a little crazy.
It was.
Yeah, but I loved it. Like, I love being pregnant.
I can understand what you're saying.
Absolutely love it. Like, if I could be pregnant every day, I freaking would.
Wow.
I love it. Like, I always say, I just want to put her back inside.
Maybe you should be
a surrogate.
A surrogate.
I would.
You
I
can
just
make
think
mad money.
I just think I would be too connected. I can't just give.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, because that thing is, I don't know, that's way too emotional for me.
Yeah.
And then just giving it away. No.
Oh.
I dealt with a lot though. When I think about, let me think about my pregnancy, like for real. I dealt with a lot. I had the morning sickness. I used to wear the bands because I was super nauseous.
That's true.
I just got my puppy, so I was literally like dying and like still having to take care of this dog, which is almost a newborn. If you have a puppy, you'll know. So morning sickness, I had the ligament pain. I had the sciatica pain.
Oh, my sciatica too.
My sciatica was really bad. I ended up having really high blood pressure at the end and preeclampsia. I had terrible heartburn and acid reflux. Oh, I would sleep sitting up at the end.
Wow.
I would sleep sitting up. I think that was it. Oh, the swelling.
The swelling.
The
was crazy.
swelling would swell all over. Just the symptoms were symptoming, and you know it was.
Symptoms were symptoming.
Yeah, and we always do that. I love that.
We do that.
And it is what it is. Now looking back, I'm just grateful for it all. I survived. I'm here, and we're thriving. Did you do anything in those pregnancies to relieve any of the symptoms? Nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
I mean, what can we do? We're pregnant.
I did nothing.
We can't take anything.
I don't. I'm telling you right now, like, I will avoid going to the doctor as much as possible.
Right. Yep.
I will avoid it. I just thought it was normal things that I was going through. And if I was concerned about anything, like if I saw bleeding or whatever,
obviously,
I would literally just message my midwife and she'd be like, "You're fine."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. See you next month.
Another great thing to preface is she birthed twice. When she was first pregnant, she told me, which I already knew you were pregnant too, when you were like, I had to tell you something. I'm like, you're pregnant. We both sat in my mom's bedroom.
Oh my
and we were like, I was like, literally, like it was yesterday. And I was like, all right, let's go. We're figuring out we're going to give birth. I was like, all natural, right? She was like, yep, all natural. Like, boop, we found the place immediately.
Everything. She did.
Immediately.
She researched everything.
Yep.
She found the place.
Yep.
She's like, oh, you can do a tour, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. We did the tour.
Yep.
And it was the first place. It's in New Hampshire. It's called the Birth Cottage.
Yeah.
Amazing. The same midwife that I had for my first one, I had for my second one. That comfortability it helped a lot with labor.
Yeah.
So much.
I did my pregnancy with her, like my appointments and stuff. And the goal was to birth there, but legally I can't talk. But I wasn't able to due to serious things that
complications.
To relieve anything, you obviously can't take medicine. A big thing that I'd love to do was I used to eat lemons for the nausea.
You can take medicine.
Well, I wouldn't. I'm sorry, I'm not a medicine girly.
I know, but there's apparently, because I have friends who were also pregnant, and they had severe nausea. Like, it was really bad, but no, she took medicine. Like, they prescribed them.
That is true.
But her nausea was pretty severe, and she was dehydrated.
Mine was just like the morning sickness, the sickness nausea, but you can get
the
bands, and they put pressure on your pressure points to relieve nausea, which literally helped like crazy. And then
is it a placebo?
No, it works. Promise, Bible. Even Jenna took it.
Really?
Yeah, Jenna took it, and she.
I know some people who used it.
It literally works. Eating lemons, like raw lemons, helps with nausea, or ginger.
Really?
Yeah, the swelling. You just take like some salt baths, like cold baths. I used to do that every single night. We're the same in the fact that we hate doctors, nurses. I'm so sorry, dude. No, we don't hate them.
We don't.
Love you if you work in the healthcare system.
We just think that you can focus on more serious.
And you're scary. You're really scary.
I just don't want to be poked.
I hate being poked and prodded. Please leave me alone.
I don't like being touched. I've gone one massage ever my entire life because I just don't like to be rubbed down, touched, and stuff. Like, I hate ultrasounds.
I
hate ultrasounds.
A lot similar to different because, girl, you could. Oh, I love massages. I love the ultrasound. That was literally like my favorite appointment.
It was so painful. I was in pain. I did not like it. Like, she dug in there. Maybe it's because I'm a little bigger that she needed to get through like fat cells or whatever to see the baby. But she was really done. She dug in there, and I was like, "Are you almost done, girl?" She's like, "Oh, do you want to know what the gender or
This
the
is
sex?
20 weeks?
The sex of the yes. The
Oh, they did
anatomy
that too.
scan.
They did that too, but they didn't. It wasn't supposed to hurt. They should have punched her.
She dug in there. She's like, "Oh, I just really need to get the picture of the heart."
I'm like, am I giving birth now?
Yeah. I'm like, girl, do not want to know the sex of the baby. Like, I'll pass.
She, fun fact, only found out the sex for the first.
Yes, not the second one.
Second one, she waited till birth. She is, my sister is just the coolest person, dude.
What?
You are. You do really cool things in life. Like, that's Nelly. That's so rare. Oh.
That's so normal. Who? Okay, would you find out the sex of your baby or would you wait? And I feel like more people would be like, I'll wait.
No, Nelly,
No?
that's really rare.
Okay.
That's really rare.
Rare birdie. Next question.
You are.
Okay, what would you describe contractions as feeling?
Love that. Contractions for me? Okay, well, I felt them 11 months ago. Do you remember? You don't?
I remember.
I was gonna say,
vividly remember.
I was gonna say, there is this thing where, when it comes to pain,
You get amnesia?
yeah, on purpose though, because it gives you
Forget.
to forget so that you can bear more children. You don't want to have that vivid memory.
Here's the funny thought that I have about this. So,
Is it funny?
I think it's funny. I think it's funny. So it's crazy that when you're in labor, okay, it is painful. It's painful. Okay, anybody can tell you that it's painful. Yes, it's painful. But you're like in so much pain. You're like, like this is so painful. But then the baby comes out, and you're like, oh my god, I want to do that all over again.
Yeah.
Like, how psychotic is that thinking?
It's the hormones.
It's so psychotic because yes, immediately after you see the baby, at least in our experiences, after my first one, I remember feeling that way. I remember being in the tub and being like, I never am going to do this ever again. That's like mid-contraction. Like right before I was going to push the baby out, like when the things have already escalated, like there's no turning back. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm never doing this again. Next time I'm going to the hospital, I'm getting all the meds, like this. Yes.
Really?
Thinking that. And then when I saw the baby, I was like, oh my god, I will do this every time, 100 million times. But mind you, like 5 minutes ago, I was like, I'm never doing this again.
She did so good. Like, oh.
It's so, and I love that we're talking about this now because. Because you were there for both of mine, I was there for yours, and I loved being on the other side of it because you were doing amazing, like incredible, better than her. Going through labor was way better than me. For me, I thought I was like dramatica, like being crazy. And she's like, no, you did great. And I was like, no, sir, like I was going crazy. What are you talking about?
No,
I think it was all up here.
Yeah.
But also, there's a question I need to ask you.
Okay, wait.
But after
I love this episode, guys. Seriously, I
it's gonna be so long.
No, we said it would be like 40 minutes. No, it's because we fooled around a lot.
We fooled around. Contractions.
What do they feel like? You didn't even do that.
I didn't answer?
No.
It feels like period cramps times 1,000.
Yeah.
And then it just wraps around your back.
For some. Or for some, it's only in their back and they don't get it down
But it really starts as period contractions. Period cramps, excuse me. And then it just escalates to be more.
But the reason why I felt like birth or labor, my whole labor was super manageable is those breaks. Oh my god.
100%.
Dude, imagine going through pain, right? Really, really bad pain. And then, you know, the second, like, it goes away, that feeling of peace.
You're like, oh, God.
That relief, Nelly, I live for it every time. Because every time I was going up, I was like, the feeling down is so good.
So good. That's why women do it the way they do it.
Yeah.
Or you can't do it because you do get the breaks. It's not the whole time, like you're gonna get breaks. And you know why I said that?
The end is
the less breaks. But that's how you know the end is near.
Over.
That's how you know it's almost over when you're not catching a break.
You're not.
So it's close. You're almost done. But that's an advice that my midwife gave me because I was having a lot of anxiety leading up to the end of my first pregnancy.
Your first, okay.
Yeah, and in my second too.
Yeah, because you knew
I knew what's gonna happen. So I was having anxiety. Like when we got to the birth center, I was like, "Oh my god, we're here! It's really happening."
Yeah.
And so the first time when I was getting close to the end, when they were like telling me to like make sure you have the car seat in the car, da da da.
Yeah.
I was having anxiety. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to experience the worst pain of my life. And I am not looking forward to it. And she told me, she's like, no, you're going to have breaks. Like, just breathe during the breaks and
you'll be fine.
You're going to be fine. But I wanted to ask you.
Go.
Because there was a TikTok that you made. And you're like, there was a point in labor. Do you have a question on there about labor? But there was a point in labor when you thought you were going to die?
Yeah.
When was that? Because never did I know that you felt that way.
I told you.
I was there for her whole entire thing.
I told you and Mom.
No, you didn't.
I didn't say the gravity of the situation.
Literally, you said I thought you were gonna die.
I did. There was a point where after we got the shower.
Okay.
After we got the shower, I thought I was almost gonna pop
when
her out.
When you were on the toilet, or when you were on the. Are we gonna be graphic?
Well, that's not graphic. It's a toilet.
It's a toilet. So you got in the shower and you got in the toilet, and then you went to the bed and
Did I go to the toilet?
Yes, sister. To take a shit. Yeah, you were shitting your brains out and you were throwing up at the same time.
In the toilet?
Yes. No, you were staying in the toilet and you told me to pass you the trash can and you were throwing up. Yep.
Wow.
It smelled so bad. I remember that so well.
You did that to me?
I did. But I wasn't throwing up and shitting.
This is so good. You were shit. I was throwing up almost. I was almost. It was bad. It was hot.
I remember this. I'm so sorry.
I know. It's fine. It was really bad.
It was. It smelled so bad.
But you get it though. You're like, I get it. It's part of it.
It's part of it. Yeah, it was totally fine. But then after that, you went to the bed.
Correct.
So when you were on the bed,
when I got to the bed, I thought it was almost done because the contractions were like really back to back, and I was like, yeah, I'm not catching a break. Nelly was like, you got this. You're almost done. If you're not catching a break, we're almost good. I was like, bet. I go to the bed. And I was like, check. She was like, I need to check you to make sure that you're like far along. Girl, when she told me I was only 5 centimeters, I was like, well, I gotta face it. Like I'm here. And I was like, I want to just stay on the bed. So I was like, I don't want to go back to the shower because I was getting cold. Like it was freaking freezing in there, dude.
It was cold in the shower.
The only reason I was hot because of the hot water. But every time we would switch back front, I was freezing. So I was like, you know what?
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, we're going to the bed. I went to the bed. I got in position, which.
It was on a doggy position.
Doggy position, all fours, facing the wall. So like my backside was to the world. They brought in the nitrous oxide. They brought it in.
Can we, before you say that, can I say something?
Go ahead.
You know what I'm going to say.
I do. Go. This is tea.
Okay. This is what I'm going to say. First of all, Crystal went to the hospital.
My government.
Yeah, because I'm serious about this. It's why I don't want to go to the hospital. Because you're so vulnerable. When you're in labor, you're vulnerable.
But that's why it's
because you're thinking, but you need advocates with you. So here's the thing. I got a little frustrated during her labor experience because we were in a hospital. One, I hate hospitals. Two, she needed to be there because she ended up getting preeclampsia towards the end. So she was doing it at the birth center, but if you have preeclampsia, that's immediate. You have to go to the hospital.
My blood pressure was too high. So when I went to go give birth in the birth center, my blood pressure was too high. She was like, we need to emergency evacuate the area.
Yeah. So you're going to the hospital.
You're out of here. And I was like, gotta go.
Yeah. So that's why she was at the hospital. Yeah. Otherwise, she would have done it at a house.
Yeah.
So she went in a village. So before she got the nitrous oxide, the nurse checked her, was like, oh, you're 6 centimeters.
6, yeah.
And then she's like, we're probably going to be here for a few hours, so I'm gonna leave because I have other shit to do.
Yes.
Obviously, I get it. You're a nurse and you have multiple patients on the same floor. The point is that she was really pushing for an epidural.
She was.
Really pushing for an epidural. And she was like,
get me out of there.
Yeah. And she was like, it doesn't make you any less of a mother. It doesn't do this.
So and I don't remember that.
She was telling me that. I was the most involved in the whole time that you were there. And I was trying. I didn't want to speak for you because it's your thing. So I would always tell you like, hey, this is what they're suggesting. What do you want to do?
But listen, before you even got there, when I first was rolled into the room, They go, what is your birth plan? And I told them straight up, I want no interventions.
Yeah.
They're like, well, because you have preeclampsia, we may need to administer the medicine for it if it gets bad.
Right.
But from now on, we're just going to monitor your thing and we'll let you know. So I said, no interventions. I don't want you guys to cut me open to let her out faster. I want delayed cord clamping. I want to keep my placenta to encapsulate. I told them everything.
Right.
And she was like, okay, perfect. They're like, okay, mama. That's what she remember saying. I'm like, but maybe they didn't communicate that to the whole team. Probably. But also, I do think in hospitals, it's a business. So they wanted me like in and out. They were like, there's no way this little ass girl is going to give birth. Naturally, she's already like trying to get on the bed. It's 6 centimeters.
Yeah.
And so I get it though.
Yeah.
You also didn't know that.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I was a little frustrated. I mean, the nurses,
messy.
It was messy. It was really messy. There was a lot of nurses.
Yeah.
Some of them looked like they didn't even want to be there.
There were shift changes
happening. It was really chaotic. And the reason why I think it was chaotic, it was because it was so drastically different from my experience.
It was. And they were not prepared for me. Marissa called and was like, are you available? And our midwife was like, are you available? Like, I need an emergency, send someone there. They're like, yeah, send her over. Like, they were not ready. They were like, oh, like gloves on, like, you know? Yeah. So things in my situation were like very rapid. For her, it was like the best. Rapid.
It was very relaxed.
Music, soothing. We're like, contractions coming. Yes. It was like the best.
Where's the jungle?
Yeah, like I was even falling asleep for a morning.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very like, I'm tired. Yeah.
All right, can you finish? When did you think you were dying?
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No, I
thought I was gonna die. Nitrous oxide. It came. Are you gonna do that? Because that's what you were gonna talk about.
Oh, you thought I was gonna talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's one thing that we kind of agree but also disagree. We have a debate about. So we are talking about our birth stories, and we were like, "What is a natural birth?" I was like, you know what? Is it a vaginal birth or is it a C-section? Is that what makes a birth natural or not? Or is it getting an epidural or not getting an epidural? Mind you, like, however you do it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't freaking matter. So I looked it up on Google, and it says that a natural birth is a birth that is a vaginal delivery that doesn't use pain medication or other medical interventions. Now, this is where we kind of get debates about. It's like we both use the nitrous oxide. It doesn't matter how long we did it, but we both used it. But nitrous oxide, according to the World Wide Web, has significant use for anesthesia and pain-reducing effects. Yeah. So is that considered medicine?
It is.
Like an intervention?
Natural and unmedicated are two different things. Natural is the vaginal. Okay. Cesarean is cesarean. Okay. Like that's when people say, "Oh, you're doing it naturally. You're doing it through your
vagina, your hoo-ha."
Yes. And then unmedicated is without the epidural or medicine and interventions in general. Which technically, yes, we have the nitric oxide, which is it's like a gas. You can puff it, inhale it.
Yeah, so I felt like I was smoking hookah.
It's laughing gas. Like when you get your teeth fixed or dental work, the laughing gas.
But it doesn't put you to sleep.
Doesn't put you to sleep. Obviously. Well, maybe not obviously to some people. But yeah, it doesn't put you to sleep. It's just like for me, the way I took it was when I was about to reach my incline.
That's what they do.
And then when I was going down, like, blew it out. Yeah. What happened was, my near-death experience, to answer your question, was, I guess they were changing the machine, fixing it or something.
Oh my, I remember this.
They were fixing it, doing something, changing it in and out, I don't know. And she was like, hold up, honey, I need to change it for you, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, my face is on the pillow, like I'm barely breathing because I'm literally going through it. She was like, okay, all set. And I went to go inhale it and nothing was working. I was like, it's not working. And I had, when you're in that stage towards the end, you can't even bear the energy to speak.
No speaking.
And there's so many things in my head that I want to say. Water, help me. My legs were moving. And you just can't. Like, you just don't have the energy. So the only words I could say was, it's not working. And she goes, honey, what are you talking about? Like, it's not working. I guess at one point, like, when it wasn't working, I was, like, trying to, like, breathe normal air. It became, like, gravy. And it was, like, I just saw, like, bright light. And it was, like, weird. Like, it was, like, I couldn't hear anything.
Wow.
I couldn't hear anything, and I don't know if my eyes were open, closed, and I just for like I don't know how long, maybe 5-10
That's how
seconds.
you know you're nearing the end
of
labor.
of life.
Of labor.
Yeah,
That's
and
intense.
yeah,
That's
and so I was like, okay, but I did feel like no pain. I felt nothing. I felt absolutely nothing.
So you
and then I just remember someone said it was working. I was like, all right, bet. And I was just like back in the same place. Yeah, I don't know how long, maybe like 5-10 seconds. I'm telling you, I felt absolutely nothing when that happened.
That's so weird.
Nothing. And then
I remember that too. When
soon
they were
after,
changing it and stuff.
yeah.
Also, they didn't believe you.
They didn't. The only people that believed in my plan was probably me, you, Jermaine, our family.
Yeah, they
Us.
didn't believe you. Anyways, I think that's one of the questions.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that, sister. I've always wanted to know. So thank you. And I'm so sorry you were such... It's so crazy how you're in all that pain and like the people around you are just
chilling,
living their best life.
I remember you always talking about getting food. And I was like, these people don't think about me.
Mommy kept telling me, Nelly, eat the pancakes. I'm like, Mommy, I don't want pancakes. Stop talking about the pancakes. She's like, just eat a little bit. I'm like, Mommy, I don't want it. Like, can we focus on this? I'm like, can y'all just... I get it. It's an exciting moment, like a new person is entering the family. It's beautiful. It's great. But my sister was in pain and I knew it. And no one was listening to her.
I loved it.
Okay, what things do you believe helped you birth naturally?
The nitrous oxide, the water. Water for both of us, and all be all.
I was in a tub, so I gave birth graciously. And luckily, did not experience preeclampsia or anything like that during the end of my pregnancy. So I was able to give birth at the birth cottage. And when I tell you I love this birth cottage so much, I'm not kidding. I moved 60 miles away from this birth cottage for my second pregnancy. And I told my partner, I was like, we're going there. I don't care if we have to drive 60 miles. We're going there because that's where I'm most comfortable. And I love them. They immediately took me in. They're like, okay, cool, here. Yeah. And it was great. So I was at the birth cottage in the water. The first time around, the second I got in the water and had the nitrous oxide, I didn't feel a thing. I was in a daze. It's like I wasn't even present. I was just like, like it was just, I had music playing. I think did I have the AirPods?
No, that time we had it playing.
It playing on the speaker.
Second time we were in a different.
Second time I had AirPods. Yeah. Music helped me so much. Yeah. I don't know why. It just really it was just like this motion. Oh my god! In the water. In the water.
But the humming helps.
Oh my
open things up too. You know that, right? Like
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And that helped. Oh my god, it was so good. And in the position I was in, like my legs were open. I was kind of like in a squat position and going like this in the water. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I don't know how long it was there, but we
were there for hours.
I was
maybe 3 hours in the water.
Oh my gosh, yeah, until the baby was born. But the second I got in the water,
3 hours.
That really helped. Another thing, oh my gosh, I wanted to mention this. Another thing that helped me during my labor was my sister during the first. You helped so much. Like you did. That's why if you want to be a doula because you would be amazing at it. She did all the tricks. But one thing that really resonated with me, like even to this day,
was the hips.
Listen to this. I didn't even think I told you this. You timed my contractions during Zaire, my first one. And she would tell me, she's like, sister, it's going to go up, it's going to go up, it's going to go up. And I would anticipate it. And I'm like, okay, breathe, it's going up. Like she's telling me it's going to go up. And then she would tell me, she's like, okay, sister, it's going to come down, it's coming down. And it would. It came down. And that helped. When I tell you that helped so much during every contraction, like I wanted her to do that every single time.
I did do the second time though.
You didn't do the second time. The first time you did was Zaire. It was amazing. Like I felt like I was was like, okay, she's going to tell me when it's going to come down. So just keep going. Just keep breathing. Keep breathing.
The breathing.
It was so good. Oh, and filling up my lungs. The second time around, when I filling up your lungs during contractions, like really filling it up and then letting it go slowly helped so much.
Yep. Because you're focusing, and that's why they say there's different types of breathing techniques out there, which is I was talking about the humming.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like one of them.
Humming is so good.
Humming, you're supposed to do like when you're like in the active labor to like push down the baby, help push down the baby with your contractions.
You're like, yep. Yeah, you're
Exactly.
pushing all the way down.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so there's different techniques out there. I literally, when I was pregnant, would do at night. There's like an app.
You
would
can practice it.
Meditating and the breathing techniques. And I remember being in labor and being like, okay, this is the time where I'm gonna do the humming and like da da da. So breathing, focusing on that. If you're trying to do it naturally or unmedicated or both, the breathing that is like gonna take you through, because it's all a mental game. And she's told me that. She was like, Crystal, it's mental. As much as you're physically feeling something, it's all like up here. Because it's up here when you're gonna be like, I'm gonna quit. I need, and if you need the medicine, you need it. Like, it's fine. But like, what I really wanted to do was to do it unmedicated.
We can't really speak on the getting an epidural. Because we didn't get it.
The only reason why we didn't want it, I think for the same reasons, is there were so many after effects that could happen. Like, there's so many things where it can't even not work. You can get it and it won't work.
Yeah.
There's a cost to it. It's in the hospital, which we did not want to do. It's expensive. You can deal with back pain for the rest of your life.
I was scared. I'm scared of that.
I'm scared of needles.
So shout out to you if you got that. Like, you're strong as hell.
And that's what I tell even like our cousin did a C-section. She's like, oh, when she was like, you did it naturally, like all medicated, like you're a G. I'm like, girl, you got cut open.
Like, that's crazy.
That's a major surgery that you were awake for.
Yeah,
like even my friend that she like, when she gave birth a month before me, she had a C-section. She had to have a C-section because she also had preeclampsia. And she was like, Crystal, like if you're gonna do a medical, like go shout out to you. I'm like, I was like, shout out to you.
You got cut open, bro. Like you literally were cut open.
And you're there
multiple
like,
layers of skin.
Oh wait,
I know.
Waiting for me, baby.
Yeah, like, I truly think like that's deserves
severe.
That deserves its moment.
Yep.
But of course we can't speak on that. So that's why it's like every experience is different. Every experience is just as amazing and just as beautiful.
Yeah.
Can only speak about our own experiences. And I think that if you have gotten cut open or gotten a needle put in your back, then you are extremely tough.
Yeah, that takes hard freaking work too. But yeah, that's what helped me through. Being in water, I didn't get to be in a tub. I had the shower, which she was there for hours with me in the shower, so it was amazing. Put that picture, please.
I will put that picture on there.
That's
That is a nice picture. During her labor, I was still breastfeeding at the time, so I had my mom cozy.
I remember hearing the
yeah.
I was like, what is going on out here?
I was pumping while I was helping her in her labor. You just gotta do what you gotta do.
Super freaking. I'm telling you guys gonna really get to know her. She's a freaking superhuman, dude.
Yeah,
like she's
superhuman.
Okay, but I'm saying the things that you do, like Nelly, like you had to. Where were your kids?
They're in daycare. They were in daycare.
Oh right, they were in daycare.
They were in daycare. Yeah.
What a great day.
It was a great day. It was a great day. I love it.
What's the next question?
This is more related to. Is there anything else? Because everything. This is all.
I think that was
part of.
Anything else was it for
birth and stuff. Yeah.
Also, if she adds in clips, which I think she's gonna add in pictures rather from her births and my births. For mine, everything was too quick. Too crazy, and so when I get
that's one of my biggest regrets is
but you were also I willingly chose her to be the one like in the shower with me next to me because I don't know, I just felt I needed my sister. My man was there, like his mom was there, my mom was there, but I needed her. Like I needed my son. I was like, no, Nelly, please, like come.
That's so true.
Because you knew where you were touching me too, like my back, and I was like, oh, she just gets it. Like she just got it. My mom was very stressed out because of my high blood pressure. So I just needed her to just chill. Like, just sit down.
She was so concerned.
Take care of them, and then they would take care of me. And so that's what we did, and it worked. Like, that's why you won't see as many, like, footage, rather, because everything was just very quick and all.
For hers was, I didn't get a lot of footage, which I do regret.
But, yes, super grateful for our squad, our birthing squad. My mom, my sister, her man was there. It was amazing. We both had really great birthing experiences.
That's also important. That also did help too. It's having the people around you really does help. Like having my sister there helped me for sure. Having my mom there helped me. Having Steven there. Having Zaire there the second time, my first son. That was incredible. He napped. He was so good because he was napping. He napped during my active labor when I was pushing,
Yep.
and then towards the end, like the last.
As soon as she gave birth, he woke up. It was literally miraculous. Like I was like, I kept making sure to like look at him. He was knocked out for literally like 2 hours, 2-3 hours.
Yeah,
because it was late.
It was late.
And I looked right when she was like, they were like about to like give. She was like almost having him out, and he woke up. And he sat on his dad's lap as she pushed out her second. I was like, this is the best thing.
It was so, wow. Now that I have goosebumps.
It was Nelly. The fact that she didn't want to film this and like, sister, hello?
That was so good. Yeah.
Our birth was wild. Anyways, love that for us. Oh. But we're gonna get into postpartum and wrap this up. But
yeah, we've had to like restart the camera. If you're watching this on YouTube, we've had to restart our camera.
Hey, can I have some?
I'm pouring wine for those of you listening.
Oh yeah.
Pouring wine into her cup. All right. So, what was the most important things to do? That's kind of like a vague question. Most important things to do postpartum. Okay, so we're gonna say postpartum is the weeks immediately following labor, not like 12 months postpartum.
Yeah, postpartum. Yeah.
But I'm technically 3 years postpartum.
And mommy is 50 years postpartum.
Mommy is 50 years. Stop. We can stop talking about her.
Love her. Anyways, yeah, no, postpartum, obviously right after. What helped you? What did you do that really helped you heal better and feel better right after?
You guys.
Oh, sister.
1,000,000%.
Really?
Every time. 100% sister. My sister deserves a shout out because she would come. You need to be a doula. She literally helped me change my pad.
Yes.
Time.
Middle of the night.
Yes. Middle of the night. Disgusting.
It wasn't that bad.
It was so bad. Come on, it's blood. But she would help me change my pad. She would help me put the diaper on. Like, you did all.
Put the spray.
Put the spray. You're like, sister, do this, do that. If it wasn't for you, sister, I would have struggled. And you did it both times. And I wasn't, but you know what the good thing is that I'm glad that you were at the hospital because I was starting to feel guilty. I was like, how am I going to show up for her postpartum? So I was like, thank God she's at the hospital. She has
things work out for exactly what they need to do.
Yeah.
Oh. Yup.
Yeah, but you guys, deadass.
Low-key, when you left the hospital, when you're like, I have to go pick them up, I was like, my heart.
You were sad? I was sad too. I didn't want to leave.
Because I was like, what am I going to do? But mommy was there. Like, I had people, but I was like, oh my gosh, now he's leaving. Like, this is over? Now I have to have a real baby? Like, crap. Yeah. But no, it was the best. Like, see, everything works out. Like, I literally was in the hospital for 2 days, had my nurses, had my mom, his family came, like, the best. But I think things that helped me postpartum, like after, was making sure to have the freezing pads.
Oh my gosh, Freedom Mom. Like the Freedom Mom postpartum kit is an absolute must.
A must.
An absolute must.
A must. Disposable underwears, like the boxer ones, the best. Showering. Honestly, water. Anything with water. Like, I was like, can I take a shower? The nurse was like, yeah. Like twice a day. Because anything with shower was like, it was just like cleansing and just letting everything flow. And I was like, yep, this is amazing.
You know what's something that I saw online?
What?
There was somebody online that was like, what is something that you can do to help a woman after she gives birth? Get her a HelloFresh subscription. I
was just going to say that. Not that, but I was just going to say the things that helped me postpartum mostly, like right after when I was home, was when you guys would come over and like cook or clean for me.
Yeah.
And I would just sit there and just breastfeed.
Yeah. Because people think, and
hold the baby.
And this was something that, again, my midwife, she's just like, midwives just know. Because I was having so much anxiety. Again, this was during COVID. Okay.
First
I had anxiety over people coming over, people just, it was just a lot. And having a new baby, I didn't know how to navigate that. I just had so much anxiety with now living with somebody full time, like always being around
and also being a new
mom. Like, it was a lot. So I struggled a lot. I struggled a lot. The baby's easy because the baby sleeps like 16 hours a day. It's the other things. You need to be sitting for as long as possible after you give birth. Otherwise, you're going to have those symptoms later on when like you can't hold your pee anymore, which is something I experience now because my second time I did not sit because I had a toddler.
So mad at her.
But that's how you can help when you know somebody who's had given birth.
Show up for them.
Show up for them. The baby's fine. You can come see the baby, meet the baby. Yes, they're not going to know who you are.
Yeah.
But show for them. Like, do the little things that
seem little to you, but are humongous when you're...
Help the laundry. Like, help with,
laundry.
like, little things. Like, wiping down the counters. Or, like,
everything.
Organizing things for them.
Yeah.
That's how you can help. Not coming over and holding the baby for 10 hours.
Yeah, because now we're both sitting here like couch potatoes.
Yeah.
And there's still things to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really what helped me was my mom. My mom showed up literally almost every single day for like a month.
She did. She still does show up too.
She shows up all the time.
All the time.
His side of the family she would bring food all the time. His dad would bring me food all the time. You want a McFlurry? I'm right here. I'm like, yep, come through.
Aww.
Like all the time. So
yeah.
Showing up for people that just eat for like the moms or even the parents, because the dads too, they need to like also get rest. They're not sleeping.
Yeah. But
showing up for the parents is super important, and that's what we gratefully have both experienced. So
yeah.
Shout out to us.
Shout out to us. I guess we can end this with talking about our breastfeeding journeys, because not every woman breastfeeds after giving birth, which is okay. Great. But we decided that we wanted to. I'm going to say what my reasoning was behind breastfeeding, and then you can share your reasoning. One of my top reasons is that it's free.
It's free. That's mine. It is free. It is free at a cost, though.
It is free? Okay, so it's free, meaning it's financially free. But yes, it does come with its cost. It is definitely just super consuming.
Mentally and physically,
and it's you just don't get a break. And it's easy for someone to see that the baby's fussy and be like, oh, here, give it to mom to breastfeed, or oh, here, like, no, they just need to be rocked and chilled. Yeah. So yes, it's free financially, but yes, it also comes with it's a lot of work. It's a full-time job. So I don't regret it, not one bit.
Nope.
I don't regret breastfeeding both of my kids. I was lucky enough to be able to produce milk to breastfeed my kids. Mm-hmm. That was the biggest thing I was scared of, is that I wasn't going to be able to produce. The first time around, I thought that I really was not going to be able to produce, because he was like 3 days old, something like that. And my milk still hadn't come in, and he was so fussy. So
that's so normal though.
I know. I didn't know it was normal.
Yeah, we didn't.
I didn't know it was normal that literally the second night they don't sleep.
Nope.
They don't sleep at all.
Gosh.
So I thought it was me. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's not getting his nutrients. He's not getting fed. Overthinking everything. And I was concerned. I was like, mommy, like, do I need to go to the store? It was like 2 in the morning.
Yep.
I was like
crying.
I was like, mommy, do I need to go to do I need to go get formula? Like, does he need that?
My mom was like, give me the baby.
Yeah. She's like, Nelly, he's fine. He's just fussy. And I'm like, oh my God, but I don't have milk. Like, what do I do? Like, there's nothing here, mommy. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. And she's like, he's fine. Like, I was really concerned. And then obviously the second time around, I was just like, it's so crazy, like, doing it the second time around.
Yeah, you're like, you already know you're going to be crying tonight.
Yeah.
Let me just stay up. Let me make some coffee. Hold on.
Literally.
I love that. Yeah. Being a mom is the literal best.
It's so fun.
It's the coolest.
The first time around, you're like taking all the bump pics. The second time, it's like, please don't take pictures of me. Yes.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna be the same.
Taking all the we do plan on having a third one. The third time around, I'm probably gonna go off. Yeah. Because it's gonna be my last one, hopefully.
Okay. Anyways. Breastfeeding, I think something that helps is having someone like her that will tell you what to do. Because I was like, what do you mean I have to breast pump? She's like, Crystal, you have a lump of milk in your armpit. Like, my armpit was this big.
Yeah.
She's like, Crystal.
You always always produce so much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I was always like, I'm fine. It just hurts. Like, Marissa was like, you're probably gonna swallow there, blah, blah. I was like, it's fine. She's like, Nelly was like, no, that's milk. That needs to come out. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So she got me a really good pump. We pumped things out. It was amazing. Moms who really want to breastfeed and like want to stick to it, it's always going to be a challenge. It's never... It's always going to be a challenge. There's days where it's easier. There's days even now where I struggle, and she's 11 months still breastfeeding. But the thing is, just stick to it. Like, you know what you want to do, stick to it and be consistent. Don't skip on a feeding or a pumping just because the baby's sleeping, you can rest. If you want to regulate your milk, pump it out. Like, you
Mhm.
have to stick on it. And there'll be times where you don't have to pump. Like, there's times where I don't pump now and I'm fine. Like, because she's eating.
Also because you're trying to wean her off.
And she's eating solids. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, at the 6 months mark, it starts getting easier. I just think that choosing to breastfeed is a sacrifice,
To an
but
extent.
on both ends, even if you bottle feed, it is also a sacrifice because you're financially paying for that,
Yeah.
and that's a lot. You
Kids
know,
are expensive, period.
period.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's mental, physical, or financial, or all three, just stick to it if you want to do it. It's the bonding.
Yeah, it is. It is amazing.
But that's our episode. That was a big one.
That was long. This was a long episode.
The sun is literally going down.
Yeah, that was such a long episode.
But I love it. You have a lot of work to edit. I'm so sorry. We
It's
talked
okay.
a lot. But
I'm good.
we are so grateful if you're still here watching.
I just can't believe it's happening. I can't believe it's happening.
Yes, sister, there's a camera right there. It's happening.
Yeah, it's really happening.
So cheers to you.
Cheers
If you're
to you.
still watching, we really, again, we see you. We love you. We thank you. I'm always going to say that. I love that.
Yeah, I do love that.
We'll be here, catch us for episode 5, where we're going to be spilling
Hella tea.
hella tea. Like, I'm a little nervous.
I am too, but I don't care.
But we'll leave that for another week.
Oh, bye.
Bye.